Welcome back to another episode of Expertly Unqualified.
Welcome back, everyone.
We're super excited to have you guys here. If you're new here, so are we. We discuss all things adulting, things that we're not qualified to discuss. That's our top priority. And if you are tired when you're listening to this on Sunday, so are we. We had to push the clocks forward an hour. I love my sleep, so it's been a little challenging. I bet this whole next week's going to be a little more challenging to wake up on time. But I do like the extra daylight because we need that in the Midwest, sadly.
So I go to school through Arizona State University, and they don't do daylight savings time. That
Oh,
means I
really?
get one fewer hour to do my homework,
They should extend your submission time
if
1
only.
hour.
But alas,
That's rude. So let's start with the most important topic of every episode, our WHAT news, the weekly stats. You didn't need to know, but now you know. Holly, what you got?
well, this one's not good. The amount of glasses I've broken this week,
Oh
but I did buy this little push broom at Aldi. I was shame that sweeps and has a dustpan built
Did they
in.
just like shatter
No, I dropped them on the floor.
and then they broke?
They shattered.
Oh, I didn't realize they could shatter. I thought they'd just like crack or scratch.
Oh, they were like cups.
Oh, okay.
Much better.
Oh my god, I'm thinking like the glasses that you're wearing, and I'm like, I didn't know they shattered.
Oh, that would be even worse. That would be 10 times
That's why I'm
worse.
like, how'd you do two of them? Oh my gosh, your glasses? Yeah, that was a normal occurrence.
But the worst part about like breaking a cup here is that my cat Prince, I love him, but he immediately wants to go investigate. So it's like a
Stay back.
combination of having to pick up my cat Prince and throw him away, him getting mad at me for throwing him away, and then him coming back, and then eventually I need somebody else to hold him while I sweep it up.
You're like, get away. That's funny. I was thinking like the glasses you wear, so it's a little more funny.
That would be miserable.
Oh my gosh. So I had a couple different weekly stats because I was like, I've done nothing this week. It's been a boring week. But then I remembered one, I forgot the other, and I have a different one written down that's kind of weekly stats. So we'll see how it goes. I actually have it written down this time. I found a lovely notepad and a fun pen, so it's a step up from a few weeks ago. So that's good. We're moving in the right direction. Number of bowls I use daily. I don't know how I do it, but I guess I'm just a snacky girl. I love snacks. I swear, when I go to do the dishes every night, I've got like 6 bowls in there. And I'm like, how do I use? I got like the little plastic Target bowls and cups. And no, I think they're bowls and plates. There we go. Of the different sizes. If you saw them, they're like 50 cents at Target. They're wonderful. I guess I just come down every so often and just get more snacks and use different bowls. And I try to reuse bowls if I have, for example, popcorn and then I'm getting pretzels or, but I need to work on my bowl consumption because I've been using way too many and it fills up the whole dishwasher. And then the other thing was, I guess this could kind of fall into different sort of parts of our WHAT news. So you put it where you see fit. But I was just laughing at myself. If you missed last week's episode, we ranked adulting advice from S tier to F tier. S being superior, F being the lowest. And I guess there's no E tier, but we decided to add that in there for a little pizzazz. I don't even think we graded anything as E. Remind me, I have another tangent to go off the story. Anywho, one of the things was waking up at 5 a.m., and I think we rated it an F. Maybe a D tier. I unfortunately did it today, and people are right. Sometimes when you wake up early, yes, it's a pain in the butt to wake up early, but I now have nothing to do after work, which is absolutely amazing. And I somehow was mostly awake for the entire day. I wasn't sleepy at all, which is just rude because I don't want to wake up early. But I had to laugh at myself because I woke up and went to the gym because I've been training for a half marathon. And if you decide to not run during these weeks, then once you get to the half marathon, I'll probably be crying. So anywho, I got to the gym. I didn't have to fight anybody for a treadmill. The gym I go to is nice, but everyone and their mom likes to go on the treadmill for whatever reason. And then half the treadmills are broken. I didn't have to fight anyone for a treadmill. I was supposed to run 4 miles today. Things were just not going my way. This could be the weekly stats and number of things that went wrong. I was dying of heat. There was no air circulation. I apparently chose the wrong sports bra because it was not supportive enough and it was hell annoying. I decided to go with a different playlist today, then my running playlist switched up a little bit, and it was, clubbing like it's the 2000s or something, and the first few songs, I'm like, "Yes, this would be good to run to." When I did shuffle play, wrong choice. It was playing all these weird slow songs I didn't know, and I was like, "No, I need some Kesha, I need some Pitbull." So that was rough, and then as I'm running, I feel like my neckline of my shirt is just coming in so much, so I'm, like, trying to hold my shirt back while running, and you wanna know what? Maybe I need to get rid of the shirt because it's from 7th grade. Maybe it's shrunk in the maybe it's in the washing machine and dryer. Maybe it's lived its life. And it was also like an Under Armour dry fit. And the gym and I don't have any like towels to wipe your sweat on. So I'm like using the shirt, which is normal. It doesn't absorb anything. And then my hands started to get itchy and I didn't know why. So it did 2 miles and then I walked 2 miles and I said, that's good enough. But this just goes to show if you see all these things on your Instagram feed, and maybe mine is just full of this because I've been running and whatnot. People are like, let me go to the gym at 5 a.m. wearing my matching outfit. And I walk like a gazelle for X amount of times, and then I leave the gym, I have a six pack. It does not work that way. I'm showing up with, I don't even know what my hair looks like. I got my headphones and water. That's about it. I got my good running shoes. I got leggings from God knows how, probably ninth grade. I got a shirt from 7th grade. I got a clearance sports bra. Maybe that's my issue. We're just going about life and it's not perfect, but don't base your life don't base your life on what you're seeing on Instagram because it's not real. I should have just recorded myself today being like, I'm so hot. What's up with my shirt?
I hate exercising in so many trendy workout clothes, especially like anything high neck. Also, I hate exercising in anything halter neck. And like anything
Yeah.
with like a fun neck, like a fun neckline. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
And this was just like a
Mhm.
normal neckline, but I think I
Yeah.
just washed the shirt so many times.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a sign that I need to
Mhm.
just go shopping and get new stuff. I love the look
Mhm.
of a matching set, but half the time the top isn't clean, but the bottoms are. And then like I don't need more clothes. So I've just been dealing with that. But then I'm like, oh, my go-to shirt for the past 30.
No, I've definitely been the same way where like I've just like been gradually having to get rid of. I still have some things in my closet that are from middle school. I just need to get rid of them. They
Oh
don't.
my God, I have sports bras from like 6th grade that are still in good condition. And
Uh,
I'm like, they're getting a little, they keep folding underneath. Maybe I should. And I'm like, why can't I just go to the store? I don't know what's wrong with me, but there's something about like a sports bra specifically that they just stay in your drawers forever, forever. I was gonna say, another tangent to our grading scale. My boyfriend found this guy's YouTube channel. I don't even know the guy's name. I don't know how he found him. He ranks foods that are no longer made using the S through F tier. And it's stuff from either like, oh, it was stopped being made in 2024 or 2018 or 1974. And he eats it. He buys it off eBay from people and he eats expired foods and he ranks them.
that's evil.
He
I
tried
need to look this up.
celery jello that was 60 years old. I'm like, that is disgusting. So if you're looking for more ranking, I can't even tell you what the guy's name is, but look him up on YouTube because I was like, oh, I wonder how many views he's got, how many followers. He's got like 8 million followers.
I gotta check that out, especially because I was expecting like okay, I still thought it was gross, but I was expecting like we try Mountain Dew from 10 years ago, but
Mm.
there's some truly vile discontinued food.
Oh, yeah, and then you forget about all the different foods, like, I guess there were Skittles mints, there was this one cookie that was half an Oreo, like an Oreo and the frosting, and then peanut butter, and then a Ritz cracker, which why don't they make those anymore?
I remember they used to make Skittles gum too,
Yes, I remember
and
Skittles gum.
Yogos.
Yogos, yes, he didn't do that one, but he totally should, or at least I didn't see a video with it. Yogos were good. There were other ones, kinda like chips and other kind of weird flavors of things. If you're looking for that ranking scale, he's got you covered. He ranks them all. And some of them are just hilarious. And others are like, ugh, why would you eat that? But yeah, that wraps up my very long weekly stats. You didn't need to know, but now you know, and that's a lot of information. So hopefully you grasped it all. Moving on to headlines of the week. Did you have any headlines of the week?
Headlines of the week. I got sick again. I got the cold. And honestly, I hate getting sick. Shout out to the Dollar Tree. Have very so it sounds weird, but you can look up where medication was made and what factory. So Dollar Tree actually has medication like Dayquil, NyQuil that is made in decent factories where like brand name products are made for so cheap.
I had no idea.
Which is crazy because, like, a lot of things, like, I would think might be, like, kind of questionable to buy from a discount store. But, like,
Yeah.
for some reason, Dollar Tree, like, actually buys all of their, like, beauty products and medicine from reputable sellers.
Well, that's good.
So if you get sick and don't wanna spend money, Dollar Tree's where it's at.
Well, hopefully you're feeling better.
Oh, yeah, I am.
That's
I
good.
actually I got my shift covered, so I didn't even have to call off work.
Good. It's good.
That was my
Um,
headline for the week.
Very nice. My headline was I've been on the hunt to use up a certain product of mine before opening a new one. I've been bad, like mascaras, I have a bunch open, lotion, all that fun stuff. So I used up a whole bottle of body wash, and then for my birthday, I'd gotten Bath and Body Works body wash. So I decided to bring that out. And there's a new scent that I need to put everyone on to. It's called Moonlit Goddess. You
Ooh.
feel like a moonlit goddess when you use it. I was using the lotion, and actually my hands are not dry anymore. I got the body wash, the soap, all the things. But as a purple container, it's beautiful. I think it's something like a mixture of vanilla, pear blossom, and lavender, I think. Highly recommend. Smells amazing. And in case you need a new scent or another reason to go to Bath and Body Works, check it out. Check that out. Moving on to adulting of the week. Did you adult this week?
Did you?
Kind of. Well, I have an adulting one that I never said weeks ago. Remember a few weeks ago, if you missed it, I wrote down my WHAT news so I wouldn't forget it on a napkin. Not my smartest decision. Then the napkin got thrown away and I was like, I remember it all. And I forgot one of the parts. Part of it's adulting I did a few weeks ago, and part of it's adulting I did this week. But don't think I adulted extra hard or I'm an adulting pro because most definitely not. But I was gonna say I was making Casio de Pepe. Have you ever made that before?
No, but I've had it at restaurants. Very good.
It's so good. Budget Bites recipe. I really need to hit them up and have them sponsor this podcast. But I was making it, and a it called for a cup of Parmesan cheese. If you don't know what Casio de Pepe, it's like spaghetti with a butter Parmesan sauce and pepper. It's delicious. So it called for a cup of cheese, and I don't know, I was tired while making it, and so I was like, you know what, a cup of cheese, 8 ounces. And so the package of cheese that I had gotten was 7 ounces. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna be out of cheese. I'm gonna be short an ounce of cheese. And so thank goodness I decided to just measure it with the cup because I was thinking 8 fluid ounces, not like so I would have used so much extra cheese that was not needed. So definitely measure your cheese by the cup and not by fluid ounces. Because unless you love cheese, maybe you're like, I only added a cup of cheese, eight fluid ounces of cheese.
I think that might be very Midwestern of me, but I am very liberal when I use cheese.
Oh yeah, cheese, butter,
I will say, last
seasoning.
night I crashed out last night because Steve, my fiance, made pasta, and this we used too much sauce, so I put it in the oven with cheese, baked pasta because there's too
Yeah.
much sauce, and left it in there too long, and it burned, and I
Oh
crashed
no.
out so hard over the loss of the cheese on top. The bottom was fine, so we could still eat it, but I was just so mad.
You're like, I used up all this wonderful cheese.
I wanted to eat that, and that was gone.
Now it's burnt, and let me guess, you used up the rest of a package, so you didn't have any more
I only
cheese.
used half, but I crashed out.
Yeah, I would crash out too.
Irrationally. Irrationally.
I would crash out too. The other adulting I did actually this week was I finally was able to update my license and get a passport. So everyone's favorite thing is going to the DMV. Said nobody ever. But I survived the DMV. You now have to schedule an appointment online. They just moved the DMV closer to my house. I just had to update my address, so it wasn't that big a deal. But when you get the text message that tells you what you need for your driver's license, it doesn't give you the information for what you need for a real ID. It told me you need, I think, your birth certificate and then proof of address because I was changing my address. And so I always bring everything. Like, you want my CVS receipt that's 14 feet long? Do you want um all the receipts? So I brought extra, and then they're like, okay, we need two pieces of that prove your address. And I was like, thank God I brought the extra. So we got that updated, and I was like, I need a passport because I'll be going on vacation in the summertime. And oh gosh, you need a passport, but then it's like your temporary license doesn't count as a primary form of ID. So I'm looking, I'm like, what else do I need? And then the good news is we updated the address on our license first and then got the passport. What I didn't realize is when you get your passport, when you submit like your packet of stuff, you also have to send in your birth certificate and then they mail it back to you. So that would have been bad if we did that first, because then we wouldn't have had the birth certificate for the driver's license.
Mhm.
Well, here's a tip. Yeah, I only thought you could go to post offices to get your passport, but check there. I went to a local library by me and they did it. We were in and out in 15 minutes. The lady who helped us was super nice. And yeah, so highly recommend looking at all your options because I know sometimes people have had issues with different post offices and stuff. But we got that all squared away. Finally got my new license, but it's just like ugh, so many hoops to jump through.
Which I will say, librarians are actually very nice and very willing to help you with so many different things. So
Oh yeah,
I definitely recommend.
yes. That brings us to the final of our WHAT news, our trending topics of the week. Did you have any trends this week?
I was sick, so I was a little behind. Do you have any trends?
It's okay. I got a fun one that's been stuck in the noggin all day. You probably have never heard of the song. It's called Double Dutch Bus. You need to look this up. Okay, do you remember the dance that became super popular with like Boogie with a Suitcase?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Forget about the rat race. I forget I forget, but some lady choreographed it and then like her dance, I'm probably butchering this, but then her like dance club, they danced to it. It was really good. She choreographed a new song and is all over my feed. And Holly, you know how bad of a dancer I am. I am so tempted to do this because I think it would be absolutely hilarious.
You're still better than me, so you can't say you're a bad
Maybe all my
dancer.
Zumba will come
Yeah.
in handy, and I may be recording this later on. It's like it's called Double Dutch Bus. You need to look it up. Everybody's doing it. It is the best choreography ever. It's like you're walking and, you know, kind of boring stuff, and then you, like, kick your leg up, and then the last part is you can't even understand the guys singing, and they're just like the wavy guys at the
Yeah.
car places where it's
The
like, "Car
wacky
over here."
inflatable.
It's literally like that at the end, and it's so much fun, and the song is stuck in my head, and so if you haven't seen it, I believe Molly Long is the lady's name who's choreographed these dances, and you need to go check them out because they're absolutely insane, and everyone doing it is just hilarious too. So there's that trend of the week. I don't think it was too trendy of a week, to be honest, so that's good.
Very slow week, but again, could be worse.
Yes, so that concludes our WHAT news of the week. News
Mhm.
you needed to know now. You need to catchphrase that, or what is it called? Copyright that. Catchphrase it.
Catchphrase it now.
Catchphrase it now. Then you heard it here first. Like I always say, we have a fun episode for you today, and we're not joking. We do joke around. I'm trying to even think of what we decided. We decided,
Weird economics and social norm.
okay, I got a lot for social norms. So, do you want to get us started with weird economics and describe what we're going to talk about?
So, as I suppose it's not necessarily economics, it's just things that financially don't make sense. So, first is just some things that feel like scams. They're definitely cost way too much. Movie theater snacks, which we already
100%.
know that all of the proceeds just go to the movie theater. They don't get any of the ticket prices. Like popcorn is the cheapest thing you can get. But movie theater popcorn tastes so good. Why does it have to cost $18?
It tastes so good, and yeah, why does it cost a bajillion dollars? And then, do you remember when you were a kid and you got the best snack pack? It was a little, like, cardboard box that had popcorn, fruit snacks, and then you can get an icy on the side. It was the best thing ever. That's all I need, a little bit of popcorn, a little bit of a sweet treat, and, an icy. But, yeah, you might as well just sneak your snacks in and, yeah, go out to eat beforehand. It's probably gonna be cheaper, and then sneak the snacks in.
My next one is college textbooks. So it's so different going to what I consider not to be elitist, but like a less elitist college versus a more elitist college. When I was at the University of Illinois, I was taking a math class once, and the professor said, I am so in debt because of grad school. I deserve to get the royalties from you buying my textbook.
Are you
You
serious?
cannot pirate that textbook because I deserve to have a reward for all of my suffering. He
Oh
seriously
god.
said that to us. But like now that I go to ASU, it's most of my classes, the professor will give you free access to a textbook or
That's
will
nice.
just
You're
use
lucky.
like open source material.
You are
But
lucky.
just it's ridiculous. $200 or more for
Oh
some
my
books.
gosh. It's always the worst when you needed, like, online access to like, you need
Mhm.
an access code that you can't share. I
Mhm.
would use, you could get at least most of my textbooks I could get on, like, Chegg or Amazon or, a couple other websites where they would have them used, and they were just as good. I always hated when the professor wouldn't tell you, at least I learned moving on, like, you don't really need to buy the book the first week of school so you can figure out, like, are you actually gonna need the textbook? But I would hate when you would have to buy a textbook, you wouldn't even use it. Er You mentioning what your professor said, it just gave me a horrible flashback of I had this one online class, microeconomic no, it was macroeconomics. We had to use the professor's book. It wasn't even really a textbook, it was the professor's book. To make matters worse, it was a night class from 6:30 to 9:30. He only talked about his book. His book had so much jargon and everything, the whole class made absolutely no sense. He made no sense. And then, like, on the exams, it was a complete nightmare. And yeah, so
I
thanks for giving me
remember
those flashbacks.
I remember that guy from when you were taking that class.
He was
That guy was so
horrible.
he was such a little jerk.
I was lucky to get the grade I got because I was like, I don't even know. Like, there would be questions on the tests and stuff. I'm like, we didn't even go over any of this. I don't remember any of this. If you know me, I loved school. So, like, it's not like I wasn't trying. He just was, why do we have to use your textbook? And then obviously you're a master in your textbook. So you don't know how to explain it to anybody. It was the worst. Absolute worst.
This one really gets me going. It's more expensive to order from Uber Eats than from the restaurant, and the restaurant doesn't get the added fee. So you're already paying an Uber Eats fee or a DoorDash fee. You're already paying a delivery fee. You're already paying a platform fee. You're already paying a tip to your delivery driver. Why are the menu prices higher? The restaurant
Oh,
doesn't get to keep
yeah.
that. So basically, they jack up all the restaurant prices, like the base prices, like
That is
25%.
true. I
It's
kind of
evil.
forgot about that. I I luckily don't use DoorDash and Uber Eats all that much, kind of
Mhm.
because of that reason,
Yeah.
but just also I if I'm gonna eat out, I might as well just go there because
Mhm.
whatnot. But yeah, I also hate when there's certain things where it's like, "Oh, it only costs $100." And then you
Mhm.
start and you go to check out and it was like, well, it started at $100, but then there was a tax on this, and then you forgot that you're gonna be it's something with a weekend, so then there's an extra charge, and you're just like, "Could you have just told me it was gonna be $175 all included and not it's $100?" Yeah.
So I'm the same way, where I will always just get pickup instead, but it's just ridiculous. And my last one for things that are way too expensive is this one's more recent, like the last 5 years. Is I got why am I blanking? I really had it written down. Okay, the rental company.
Rental cars?
Airbnb,
Oh, Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Yes, that's the
Airbnbs
one.
are more expensive than hotels now.
Yeah, it depends on which ones you, like,
Mhm.
find, but then that's the one where it's like, "Oh, it's only $100 a night," and then it's like, "Haha, there's a cleaning service fee," and I think there's a button you can click to see, like, the full price of your entire stay. I'm like, "Come on, just be upfront, be like, it's gonna cost X amount of dollars, here's the layout of how much it's gonna cost." Yeah.
And I'll say the exception is if you're traveling with a big group, it's usually cheaper to get an Airbnb and split it,
Yeah,
and it's more fun, but
that's
that's my
true.
last one. Or
Yeah.
things that cost way too much.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some. Well, I guess, like, tied into economics, it's we
Mhm,
also wanted to talk about, like, social norms that
mhm.
everybody's thinking about, but we never talk about. And, I was laughing at this one because Holly made the nice outline in black font this week, no invisible outline like last week. Um, and it and in the outline, we have tipping culture, which I think is huge because I guess in some places, like, people are notorious for not tipping. I think I heard, like, in Florida, some restaurants are just automatically including a tip on your receipt or whatnot, but most importantly, like, tipping, I know it's usually 20% if they did a good job, if you wanna go above and beyond, but 20% I would say is the normal. Who decided 20%? I wanna know. I
Also,
wanna know.
everything has changed since COVID.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, here, I did the bare minimum, will you tip me?" Or
Which
sometimes, like, I forget, like, in restaurants, maybe, like, self-service restaurants or whatever, it's like, they aren't doing anything above and beyond, so why are you asking me to tip something that, like, you're not working on sort of thing? But I understand everybody needs a living, so I get that. But now I feel like there's tipping screens everywhere. I mean, when we were when we worked together, they just added the, like, little tip screen on the keypad, but then you have to, like, hold it out there, and then people don't know how to use it, and I feel really awkward just, like, not tipping at some places, and then you're like, "Oh my god, are they staring at me clicking $0 tip?"
so this is something that people get into huge Reddit arguments over, like kind of a lot. And I like to participate sometimes because it's funny. But okay, so I think my idea shouldn't be that controversial, but I don't really like tipping, so I just don't go places where I have to tip. But also I'm cheap and I don't like spending money, so I just don't go places where I have to tip. So
I
it's like
can kinda relate to that.
I also work in food service and, like, I get tips, like, I think I'm not, like, the type of person that gets offended just because there's a tip screen. I'll express no thank you. Because, like, you only need to tip if it's, like, a hairdresser
Yeah.
or if it's, like, somewhere
Nail
where they make below
salon,
minimum
like,
wage.
more
Like, there
service related, but
but the same
sometimes
yeah.
yeah, sometimes when I get, like, a coffee from a certain place, I'm like, "Um, I don't think I'll tip today," and then I, like, feel bad for not tipping, but then I'm like, "At what point how much money do I need to have to be able
Mhm.
to be like, 'Yeah, I'm gonna tip
And,
X amount of
like,
dollars?'"
from the other POV, it's like, I am happy when people aren't actively mean to me. I don't really care if they tip me.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to remember that some people really do treat other people terribly in public. So, like, you just being nice is enough.
Yeah, like, make sure when it's a scenario where you should be tipping, definitely
Mhm.
tip. If it's optional, I don't know, think about it, and most of the time, the worker's not, like, staring at you being like, "Wow, you didn't tip?" But I do have to tell you, I don't know if I told you this story. So they finally when I was working back at Starbucks a few years ago, they updated, like, the was it that you could now tip on a credit card?
Yeah.
That was new. Okay, so they added that you can now tip on a credit card, so we have, like, the little readers, and so normally we would just tap it ourselves or swipe your card or whatnot, and I can't remember specifically whether we used to just hold the, what is it called? The, like, card reader out the window and have them
Mhm.
select the tip. You could click, like, no tip or whatever, but it was just so you had to get, like, the perfect angle. Some people had really tall cars, some people were really short. There's always that one person who parks about 4 feet away from the window, you know? So, like, you can't reach them, and then they're confused, or they're like, "Why are you holding this in front of me?" There was one time, I can't remember if I was holding the thing out or if I just took their card when it was, like, really cold and tapped it, and so when I think I forgot that the tip screen was up, so when I went to go tap it, I think it it clicked the, like, $5 tip, so somebody tipped us $5 without knowing because it was just
And
me tapping really fast trying to get them out the door.
customers will also do that so much for they'll just, like slap their card repeatedly and don't realize that they pressed a $5 tip. Just like, don't do that. Like,
So I'm like, whoever tipped us $5 and didn't know, and now your coffee's $20 instead of 15. Thank you, and I'm sorry. Speaking of other ones,
small talk with strangers. So the Midwest is so different. So like I was always shy, but when I lived on the East Coast, there's two things. It was normalized on the East Coast to elbow people and kind of push them, but it wasn't
elbow.
normalized to talk to people in public.
Mm.
But in the Midwest, I think it's different. I think like in the Midwest, like we really like our arm circle. If you're within arm circle distance, like someone's gonna say, just sneaking past you.
That's very accurate. Yeah, I think we just like are Midwest nice, and we'll just say, "How are you?" And then the response will be like, "Good. How are you?" "I'm good." And then you just walk right past each other. You don't really get much out of the conversation, but at least we're talking to you. Um, I did find some other social norms that I felt very deep within. I was like, "Oh, it's coming at me." Okay, nobody talks about it, but you always think about it. Don't take the last one rule. Like, there's one slice of pizza left and you're at a party. Don't take it. Or there's one slice of cake left. Is it acceptable to take the last slice of cake, pizza, whatever, if you ask if anybody wants it? Or do you need to like, and there's no response, or do you need to wait for
Mhm.
a response? Like, how do you think that should be?
I think that there's one circumstance where it's evil diabolical. You never eat somebody's last slice of birthday cake. They will hold it against you.
That's
I
true.
remember.
Do you remember it?
You don't listen, so I can talk. I would say if it's a birthday present or present to anyone at all, don't eat the last.
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
that also works for leftovers, unless
yeah,
you've explicitly said, like, "Yes, like, anyone can have my
mm,
leftovers," but if you eat somebody's leftovers, they're not gonna be a happy camper.
no, diabolical. I forgot about that. One time I was sleeping over. I had like a sleepover with my friends when I was in elementary school. And I woke up to their dad mad. Her little brother ate their dad's leftover and Alfredo.
People don't forget when it comes to food. Food is a serious topic. I feel like I definitely am like, "Does anybody want the last chips or whatever?" And most of the time people are like, "Nah." But everybody thinks about that. This one made me laugh of the "oops, I saw you twice" rule. Have you ever been at like one store, you ran into somebody you know, you're like, "Oh yeah," you start talking with them and have a nice day. And then you go to the next store and they're also there too, and you're like, "I promise I'm not following you around." My gosh, that's happened to me before, and then this actually happened to me last week. I was shopping at Aldi, and I ran into my high school gym teacher, and so we caught up, and I was like, "Man, she remembers my name." She was also my mom's gym teacher as well, and it was funny because when I was walking to the store, I'm like, "Huh, that kinda looks like a gym teacher," and then I got into the store, and she came in at the same time, and I was like, "Yep, that's her." But anyway, so, like, we talked, and she said, like, "Oh, good to see you, blah, blah, blah." So then we go our separate ways. Every aisle I went down, I was like walking past her and I'm like, "I promise I'm not following you. Just let me be." But like, I don't even know how to deal with that. I'm like, I'm just shopping. And you just casually start looking at something random. Or have you been shopping somewhere and the item that you need in the aisle, somebody is blocking it, but you don't wanna
Yeah,
say anything to them, so you
yeah.
casually look at something and become very interested in what's on the other side of the aisle until they move.
That happened to me at Aldi recently, like, the last time I went a few days ago, and the lady kept and her kids kept being in front of everything I needed,
Oh my gosh, and you're
like,
like,
the entire trip, and at some point, I just, like, looped back around to the produce, and I was like, "I'm just going through this all again, I just need a break."
I've done that too. I'm like, "Okay, stop blocking the aisle. Move it." It's,
Where I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go look at fruit and wine I'm not gonna buy,
and I'll
just to
wrap
take a lap."
around.
I do that too, like, when, like, Costco lines get too rambunctious, I'll just be
Mhm.
like, "I'm not dealing with this, taking a lap. I'll come back later, check out
Taking
later."
a lap, taking a lap. Okay, how about nobody talks about this. When you're in a crosswalk and a car's like waiting to turn and you just are like, "Oh my gosh, I need to move faster," even though you have the right of way. You're like, "I need to speed walk." And so nobody talks about that, but you think about that. And then as you're driving, if you're the driver, you're like, "Man, why is this person walking so?"
Another one is I'm not sure if this is like an all the US thing or especially just like the Midwest, is waving back when someone waves you to go through traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I just tend to wave at everyone and everything, and half the time they're not even waving at me. I'm trying to think of any other. Oh, this is such a Midwest thing. You're leaving somewhere and you hold the door for the next person. And then like 18 people walk in and you're like, when do I stop holding this door because I just want to get to my car? Or the worst is when you're about to leave and you like turn and you can see somebody about 12 feet behind you. How long is it acceptable to hold the door open? Because sometimes there's
Yeah.
too big of a gap and you're like, I don't want to be
Uh-huh.
rude and just let the
Yeah.
door slam in their face. How long do you have to wait? Like, what's the distance? I feel like.
'Cause I
I mean, you're just casually standing at the door for way too long. You're like, I could have just gone. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's got to be like, or if somebody's holding the door open for you, do you just like casually start jogging more towards the
yeah, because
door? Do you
I always
speed walk?
I always feel like I have to start walking faster, you know?
You're like, I can't walk normally. I got to go
Can't leave them
fast.
hanging, you know? Like,
I
can't
got to
leave
go
'em
super fast. Those are just some thoughts that run through our head, and hopefully you can relate to them because I feel like it's very accurate.
I don't know if this counts as a social norm, but something I've noticed driving on 290 in Chicago is why they're the people who act like race car drivers are either the people in trucks and the people in race cars. So it's the biggest cars and the smallest cars are driving like race cars. Nobody else. What's the
And
psychology behind it?
motorcycles, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the motorcycles too.
Mhm. I don't know. They just
But
bought a car, goes vroom vroom. They're off. The Audi. I don't know, yeah. A few other norms that I feel like shouldn't be normal. Why do we always have to pay extra for guacamole?
it's evil.
Why
I
can't it
know.
just come with? We went to this one restaurant that's a local one. It's like a brew pub. I love it. We got their nachos and they were so good. And they're like, "Oh, do you want guacamole?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Sure." It was like $3 extra, which whatever. The size of the guacamole, it was literally like that much guacamole. I was like, "I'm sorry, I paid $3 for that much guacamole. I need like this much guacamole."
I
Then
would expect a lot more than that too. Oh, something I realized recently is that when you go to restaurants, sometimes the guacamole has sour cream in it,
what?
which I want to try that. I have never done that at home.
Yeah, I didn't know
So
that.
after I learned that, I was so confused, which I've eaten a lot of guac at restaurants. I've never had one I complained about.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, so restaurants are putting sour cream in the guacamole?
hmm
Why? Make it creamier?
Make it taste good, I guess.
I guess sour cream does make everything taste better.
And my fiance is Polish, so we go through a lot of sour.
Speaking of upcharges on food, not only is guacamole upcharged, if you want like queso on your burrito bowl, boom, upcharge. But that reminds me, they just opened a Qdoba over here. And I need to go there because they give you all the toppings included in your price, so you don't have to pay
Which
extra. And now I want
there's
Qdoba. This is bad.
not
It's good. It's basically like a Chipotle, but I think it's cheaper and you get all the toppings. So now that reminds me, I need to go there. I'm trying to think of some of the other. Okay, how do you feel? Well, I guess this is more social norm. We are going back and forth, so hopefully you're with us. How do you feel about if you went out to eat with a group of people, splitting the bill? How do you usually go about it? Like it's you
a
and three of your friends.
Depends. 2 ways. If I'm not super close with them, I always pay for my own stuff. But with my closest friends, none of us are good at keeping track of any form of money, but also none of us are particularly greedy. So it's more so just like whoever is closest will grab it and it all equals out eventually,
Yeah,
if that
I
makes
was gonna
sense.
say that. 'Cause sometimes I don't mind depending on the situation, like, I don't mind
Mhm.
paying for it all, and if people want to, Zelle or Venmo or whatever, like, that's fine. Sometimes I just don't want the waitress to I don't even know how hard it is to split the bill a
Yeah.
bunch of different ways, but I don't wanna be a nuisance. So I'm like, I'll just put it all on my card. But then when you think about it, just how you said about your closer friends, it's like, oh, here's your $20 back. Here's your $20 back, and you just keep passing it back and forth. I feel like, and there's a lot of discussion about specifically if you don't split the bill into individual receipts and you just take the total, divide it by however many people are there.
Mhm.
If some people got more drinks or a pricier dish, there's a lot of uproar with that.
And, like, I know everybody's different, and it's not, like, one way is right, but, like, I had roommates once. They were very intense, splitting everything equally, eating things like Ubers, and, like, if one person was, like, slightly farther, like, they would, like, do the math on
Oh,
how
really?
much extra distance that yeah, and that's just too much work for me, where I personally, I don't think I spend too much money, again, 'cause so I think that, like, with me, like, if I'm close friends with someone, I will just pay and not do the math.
Yeah, and they'll probably, like, pay it forward next time. Oh, I was just thinking of something, but now I can't think of it. Now I have that stupid bus song and "Get on the bus,
So,
pay
this is
your
another one.
fee."
No Wi-Fi on airplanes for free, which honestly, I know some places, give you free Wi-Fi on air. Some airlines do.
I don't know how exactly that works because Southwest does give you free Wi-Fi, but you can't do everything you normally would do on Wi-Fi. Like you can get your messages, but I don't think like Snapchat would load or certain apps. So I don't know. As long as it has something, I guess I find other things to do that don't need Wi-Fi, and I'm just used to that. But I can
Mhm.
imagine it could be annoying for some people.
So, I understood a long time ago, but now we have the technology. So why aren't you letting
Yeah,
It's
that's
cheap,
true.
and you can. It's cheap, and we have the technology.
And we're already paying so much for the ticket, so why not?
Just give us this. Just the
But
one thing.
I remembered what I was gonna say. Okay, so if you went out with your friends and you guys split the bill or whatever, and so like one person paid and everybody was gonna Zelle or Venmo. If the total came out to like $18.58, are you the type of person who will only send over the 18.58? Would you send over in dollars? Would you just round it up to 20? What's your vibe on that?
I would go up to the nearest whole number with the least amount of typing,
You got all these hacks. You're like, no math, least amount of typing.
which again, it's just me personally. What would you do?
I guess I would say, like, if I was the one who paid for it all and I'm splitting it out, I would just tell
Yeah,
somebody a whole
yeah,
number.
yeah. I would
And
also
yeah,
like if I'm paying for my like if I'm sending it to my somebody else, I'll round up. But if I'm charging other people, I'll round down.
fair.
If
Yeah,
that
you
makes
just try to
sense.
make it the easiest number as possible.
Same
Yeah.
with like a while ago. I went to a gas station and I bought snacks on my lunch break, coworkers, and they didn't give me an itemized receipt. It just said snack, 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 and then the price. And I didn't charge anybody because I didn't know how much any of it cost. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
If I'm paying someone else, I'll just round up. If I'm charging people, I'll round down to just make it
I think
easier for
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. All right. I feel like a pinball machine. We went back and forth on money topics, social topics that everyone thinks about but no one talks about. And we'll probably come up with more eventually, I feel like. Like I feel like this was the gateway into just thinking about it. And who knows, maybe we'll have all these experiences and we'll be like, this happened.
no. There's a subset of economics called social economics.
Oh,
Studies human behavior
mm,
in between.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Do you have any unqualified advice?
I think I'd probably use this advice. Kind of going back to the beginning of the episode. Whatever you see on Instagram, I'm guessing is probably like 99% staged. So don't be hard on yourself when everything isn't perfect. And just like Hannah Montana said, nobody's perfect. And I won't start singing because I just will. But yeah, everything doesn't have to be aesthetically pleasing. So give yourself grace. And unfortunately, I may be waking up again early tomorrow. And we'll see how that goes again. It's just the waking up part that's hard. And the fact that I have to run 4 rounds. Advice, don't sign up to do a half marathon.
Also, I think I've said this advice before. The best way to wake up way too early in the morning is drink 60 ounces of water before bed.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. I no, see, I had the issue of I didn't even think I drank that much water before bed, but then um I was up like at 3:30 in the morning going to the bathroom. So
Mhm.
I don't know. And then the other thing maybe if I wake up earlier, like every day normally. Maybe not as super early because I was up at 5:20, which is ungodly. But the night before, I have to wake up super early. I can't fall asleep as easily as I normally do. And then as I'm sleeping, I'm like, am I oversleeping my alarm? Did my alarm go off and I just didn't hear it? Do I have 1 hour left? Do I have 2 hours left? And then I'm just thinking about time in my head, and it
Yeah.
doesn't work very well. And Love is Blind screwed me over again because they only posted one more episode. I should have known that the reunion was going to be in a whole nother week, but if you missed my rant last week, go back because you'll agree with me. I'm kidding. We didn't rant today. We got to do our
I have a
expertly
rant.
unqualified rant. Go for it.
So this morning at 5 in the morning, some chungus, which usually when I drive to work, it's like 4 in the morning, so there's no one there. Like the people who are awake are either driving like 90 or like 20 miles on the highway, which is
There's
also
no in
equally
between.
scary. No, it's terrifying. But like some chungus in a lifted truck cut me off with no blinker, and then so he started. There's 3 lanes. He started off in the leftmost lane, no
Okay.
blinker. He weaved through traffic, cut me off when I was in the rightmost lane, got into the shoulder, and then passed a bunch of people before swerving back around to our
I'm sorry,
rear.
he passed people on the shoulder?
Which I want to say, buddy, wake up earlier, loser.
That should just be your alarm. It's just a recording of you being like, buddy, you should have woken up earlier.
Loser.
That'll put some pep in your step. Oh my gosh. That is
That's my rant
great.
for the week. Is
That
just
was
just
great.
wake up earlier, try harder,
Do
stop,
better.
do better, stop.
My gosh. My rant was, I don't even know if it's exactly a rant. I was just confused, okay? So after going to the gym at the ass crack of dawn, there's a Dunkin' on the way home, and I'm like, you know what? Treat myself. And so this Dunkin' has a weird drive through, and I don't know if this is the only Dunkin' that has this sort of drive through. I feel like it does. It's got one lane, and it used to be a bank, so maybe this was the issue. It's got one lane that says drive through at the top, and one lane that says mobile order, but it's not like there's two speakers. It's just like a different lane. So then you have to casually just merge into the lane of people who are going through the drive through, and you're just cutting in line, I felt like. So I was like, oh, there's a bunch of people in the drive through lane. I mobile ordered. Let me go through the mobile order lane. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to merge into these people who want their coffee just as bad as I do. So I just looped around the building and then went back through the drive-through, and I was like, "Hi, I placed mobile order." And then somebody placed a mobile order and went through the mobile order lane and then merged in front of me. And so, like, what is that? Am I just supposed to merge? Why are we merging? Why can't we just, because how is it fair that somebody gets to cut in line? I don't know. I could have
It's
cut
not.
in line, but I didn't. I was too nice.
Did I tell you about I went to Walmart after not going there for a long time,
Yeah.
and an employee started shouting at someone who cut me in line.
Really?
I was buying stuff. I was at Walmart, and this man cut me in line. And I mouthed, "What a jerk." Which maybe I shouldn't have done that. I didn't say it out loud, but I just went, and the lady just saw him cut me in line, and then she shouted at him and said, "Don't you cut in line now." And then she opened up a different register and then had me go to a new register. And
Oh, that
then,
was nice of her.
so as I was leaving, I was picking up my stuff and leaving. Somebody cut another guy in line, and she started yelling at the other guy and said, "No, no, no, he was first."
It's a grown man. No, no, no. What are you doing?
But it
Oh
was
my
funny,
gosh.
so like,
Not
just
fun to be
don't,
cut in line, but
no, just calm down. It's not
calm
that
down.
deep,
Wake up earlier, buddy. I just need to start calling people buddy in a really
buddy.
passive aggressive way. Okay, buddy.
Way to escalate arguments is to just say bucko
There you go. You're
or
not swearing. You're
buddy,
just, come on, buddy.
which
Go.
for not a swear, I think it escalates things a lot more.
It really does. Okay.
All right, so with that being said,
And if you made it this far, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check that little heart button, the little thumbs up button, leave a comment. I've been slacking on the Instagram, I do have to say, but maybe with me waking up at the ass crack of dawn, I could get something posted. But we want to hear from you, and share this with a friend who needs to hear all those gibberish in their ear with one less hour of sleep. And we will catch you guys next week.
bye. All right, that's a wrap on our episode of Expertly Unqualified. If you stuck around this long,
You're either extremely loyal, extremely bored, or extremely caffeinated. Either way, we love that for you.
Make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review if you laughed, related, or were personally attacked by something we said. Find new episodes and more on our website, thepodmates.com.
And don't forget, follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Expertly Unqualified. Send us your stories, questions, or weird hot takes. You might just hear them on a future episode.
We are, as always,
Expertly Unqualified. Conversation's so fun, you'll forget we have no idea what we're doing.
Was it Podmates production?